Hello everyone, I'm back with some sim racing content, and today we will be checking out which era of Formula 1 is the quickest around Goodwood. Now Goodwood is this hill climb event that happens annually in the UK, and it's one of my favorite events to watch. It's honestly my dream to attend Goodwood in real life. So I'll be driving Formula 1 cars from the 1920s all the way until 2022 car, and let's see which one is the quickest. Okay, here we are. First car of the day. It's the 1923 Fiat 805. It's a Grand Prix car, not necessarily a Formula 1 car, but it's a Grand Prix car that raced in the French and European Grand Prix. Almost won the French, but the 3 entries they had retired because of dust. But they did win the European Grand Prix at Monza because it was basically the quickest car there by a mile. It had 145 horsepower and it has a supercharged inline 8 engine. So let's see how fast this car can go around the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Very throaty sound. Release the clutch. That's a lot of wheel spin. Revs very, very high. You can also hear a bit of supercharger whine. So let's see how this thing handles. A bit wide there, wasn't really the best line. Rev it all the way. Fourth gear. Around 136 kilometers per hour, this is brake down to second. Rev it all the way again. Now onto the narrow section of Goodwood. Only a bit, don't really need to brake that much. It's not really that tight of a corner. Here you do need to brake though, down to second. And I think it's flat now until the end. So yeah, it's flat here. Let's see how fast this thing can go. 120. 130 down the line. With a 1 minute and 10 seconds. 0.139. Is that fast? We don't know. Because we haven't done any other car yet. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, here we are in our second car. Now this is a Maserati 250F. It has a V12 engine. It raced in the 50s and early 60s. And this should be a bit quicker. No, a lot quicker than the 1920s Grand Prix car. Of course, in the 1950s, Formula 1 was already a thing. So this is a fully fledged Formula 1 car. So let's see how this goes around Goodwood. Oh, it has a much higher pitched sound than the Fiat. 3, 2, 1, go. I won't downshift anymore there. I don't think it will be necessary. It might cause a wheel spin. Look here. Oh my goodness. This thing is the opposite of stable. Oh my gosh, it's oversteering on every single corner. I have to be super cautious when driving this. Imagine being a Formula 1 driver in the 60s when they had the banking at Monza and the kink at Spa. It was extremely dangerous. There you go, it's around 9 to 10 seconds quicker. I know it can get quicker than that, but here's our benchmark for time being. A 1 minute 1.675 was that time. So guys, now we're on to some seriously quick cars. So we got the 410 horsepower, 350 Newton meters of torque Lotus Type 49 from 1967. Colin Chapman, F1, match made in heaven. Also the first Formula 1 car to be powered by the famous Ford Cosworth engine, and it's also the first Formula 1 car to have the engine directly built into the chassis and into the monocoque. And since then, every single Formula 1 car has been built this way. So let's see how much faster this will be than the Maserati. Let's go. Oh, this thing sounds amazing. Off the rev limiter. I'm making a bit early here. This thing drives like a go-kart. Feathering the throttle there. Great. Just when you see those black and white markers. Clean so far. Brake early for this. Don't downshift though. Might not. Brake early here too. And throttle on up, and it'll be flat, I think. I'll just lift a little bit to the end. 200 kilometers per hour, 49.215, almost 11 seconds quicker than the Maserati from only a decade earlier. So in a decade, Formula 1 has gotten 10 seconds a lap faster. Wow, that was actually quite difficult to drive. As you may not know, this is like the 5th try that I've done in this car. So, okay, so now this is what we're talking about when we hear the word Formula 1. This is the 1970 Lotus 72D, and as you can see, we got slick tires, Goodyears, and we also got actual aerodynamics, a very early style of aerodynamics, but this surely will be much faster than the Lotus 49. We still got the same engine, so top speed should be the same, but we should have much more grip and downforce. So let's see how this thing drives. Same engine, so it sounds pretty similar. But you can see with the slick tires, it's much grippier than the last one, 49. But I can also feel a bit of understeer as well, which is interesting. But the brakes are much better, and I can push this car so much more because of the grip from these slick tires. Oh, that was satisfying. There we go. Flat to the end, 219 kilometers per hour, and we have a 47.582, which is, if I don't correct myself, it's 2 seconds quicker, 2.5 seconds quicker than the Lotus 49. Yeah, around 2.5 seconds quicker. So, not as much as I was expecting, compared to, you know, the aero advancements and the improvements in tires and engine. So, let's see. The gaps are getting smaller and smaller as we go. So let's move a little bit later in the year. So now we're on to some seriously iconic cars. So this is the 1975 Ferrari 312T, driven by Niki Lauda in his first Formula 1 World Championship. So only around 5 years younger than the last car, but let's see how much faster it goes around the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Lots of wheel spin as well. Let's see if it has the same understeering problem as the Lotus. It's still there, but it's not as bad. I can feel that there's better aero than the last car. Up to around 220 kilometers per hour to the top of the hill. And now let's see how it navigates the wall. Brake a little bit here. Yes, that's how we do it. Shift down to second over here, and it should be flat until the end. .857. So only around a second quicker than the last car. So 5 years of improvement, only 1 second. That's interesting, actually. I expected more, but then again, we're going into some really fast cars, and I don't think. So now we're into one of the most iconic F1 cars ever made, the Lotus 98T, famously driven by Ayrton Senna. Around 1,000 horsepower, very little weight with the carbon fiber, and we also have the turbocharged V6 engine. So let's see how much faster this will be around the track. You feel that turbo lag, but once it kicks in, it really starts spinning the wheels up no matter how much grip you have. It's almost as if short shifting works to avoid the wheel spin. Brake a bit later because we can feel the improvements in the brakes. Oops, I hit the wall, but we'll carry on. .230, 240, a 45.757. Oh my gosh, that's another second quicker. I think a second and a half or 2 seconds quicker than the Niki Lauda Ferrari. So we've gone into extremely fast territory. Now we are in the 1991 Jordan 191, driven by Michael Schumacher in his Formula 1 debut. So now we got digital dashboards. But we've also had less horsepower actually than the previous car. But of course, better aero and more downforce. So I can also push this car a little bit more. Hit the wall again. I'm a bit heavy on my gear shifts there. But that was a lot quicker. That was a 40.1. And if 5 seconds quicker than the Lotus. With less horsepower. Wow. I did hit the wall, so it wasn't a perfect lap. So, wow, that's quick, a 40.1, and I think the real life record at Goodwood is a 39, I think. So now we are in arguably the most iconic Formula 1 car in history, the Ferrari F2004, driven by Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello in their most dominant season in Formula 1. If Schumacher would lead a race, he's most probably gonna win it in this season. Apart from if Montoya decides to ruin his day, but we won't talk about that here. Let's see how fast this Ferrari will go. Traction control, keeping the grip. Back to first gear. Throttle on early. Only a lift over there. Off the grass, but that won't hurt much. Down to second gear. Throttle on early again, full throttle, up to the wall section. Brake, 2 gears down again. Full throttle to the end. Are we gonna get into the 35s? 35.991. Now that is faster than the world record, and I don't think anyone in real life would actually get a time this quick in Goodwood. So let's see what the more modern Formula 1 cars can do from the 2010s. So now we are in the 2013 F138 by Ferrari. The era where I was alive, and also the era where DRS and curves were first introduced. So let's see how this goes. Activate DRS. Now this should have lower top speeds than the V10s, but also slightly higher downforce. But also it was heavier at this time because of the much bigger stature of these cars. As I hit the wall again, activate DRS, and we have a 37.9, so it's around 2.5 seconds slower than the F2004. So yeah, as expected, the 2013 car is slower than the 2004 car. So now we are in the 2022 Red Bull Formula 1 car, driven by Sergio Perez and our current championship leader, Max Verstappen. So let's see if this will be quicker than the F2004, because these V6 turbo hybrid cars are blisteringly quick. Let's see if this can beat the Ferrari. Activate DRS in every opportunity. DRS, 5th gear, 6th gear, almost 300 kilometers per hour. DRS again here. Down to 4th, down to 3rd here. DRS again. Flat to the finish. Oh, a 37! So, none of the cars can beat the Ferrari F2004 at Goodwood. Not even this year's car. Wow, that's quite interesting. So the Ferrari F2004 is the most successful and the fastest Formula 1 car around Goodwood in history. So I guess that's it for this video. I kind of expected that because of the size and the power, but I expected the ERS and the DRS to make up for it in the more modern ones. But anyhow, that's the result of the video, and that's the result of the findings. So I hope to see you guys soon. Hope you guys watch the next videos to come. And to make sure you guys do, please hit that subscribe button, please. And like and comment as well, and share. So thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.